hair is an ever-evolving creature. I can't wrap it up with my hair. It's like having a tribble that just lives atop my head. Welcome to this week's episode of It's Not a Phase. It's been so long, I forgot who we all are, so I'm going to start with me first because that's the easiest. I'm JussJess. I'm
You
the
don't
one
say.
who just starts it off. That's all I pretty much do. On bottom here, we got that goth man all about town, Mr. Raven Blackfall. I almost said Mick Blackfall. Like I just turned you into a fucking dark ass McDonald's sandwich. And then we got the ringmaster, one of the ringmasters of Asylum. I don't mean to take credit from other people, but DJ Raev. How have you guys been doing? It's been forever.
It's been a minute.
It's been so long.
Yeah,
My space has literally changed again. I will eventually settle upon something.
it's
It's
like you
probably,
you're
it's
like
probably this.
moving around and you're
Yeah.
like just like basically just streaming from different locations, you know?
The
It's kind of
background,
awesome.
different locations with all the same paint job. It's like a thing I
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're just going from Airbnb to Airbnb because they're all kind of that neutral color.
I wish I was that important. Like, yes, I'm in Australia filming right now. So,
Sure.
of course, the background is different. And I have a dragon tree from the Easter Islands, which is a neighbor of Australia, kind of. Same general
Between
ocean
yeah,
area.
yeah, it's between Chile and Australia, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's in
guess
the
all things
Pacific
are relative.
Ocean. Hawaii's out there too, as well, and New Zealand. But we're not here for the geography lesson, unless we are, and then you're and listen to the wrong show. How
You're
is
listening to the wrong show either way. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, you're not
depending on what your interests are? You've got questionable interests if you're here, and it's okay. We're here to help you with that. How is
This means you're one of
Asylum?
our friends, and sucks to be you, but we're glad you're here.
How has Asylum been?
It's been really freaking good. Like we were surprisingly busy on Saturday, and I still haven't figured out where they came from. Like there was some 20-something-year-old DJ from Detroit that showed up. I have no idea who she is, where she came from. Like, people kept coming up to me talking about, do you know who that is? Like, no, I have no fucking idea who she is. But I mean, her requests were so on point with some of the deep cuts that I desperately want to be her friend. So, like,
She was a random
whoever it
DJ?
was, huh?
She was a random DJ?
Someone from the Detroit scene.
Hmm.
Huh. Huh.
I feel
Enough
like
people were talking to.
that's from fucking Vampire the Masquerade. Like you made that up. Like they're just this traveling vampire that just, popped into the club and nobody knows who they are. And that's why it's the mystery of it. And now she's gone. She vanished into the night and she'll be back to DJ your night in about 2 or 3 years when she completes her circuit around the world again.
That's
It was
fine.
Yeah.
it wasn't
But she'll still be
Jacqueline,
20.
was it?
I don't know. I didn't actually see her. Like, Marcy and Mel came, were telling me about her and said, okay, cool, point her out to me. And like, I could see the handwriting on the request sheet. And it's like, God, that's some really good stuff right there. It's like, so where is this person? And
Oh
I could
wait.
never find her.
You said she was like young though, right?
That's what I'm told.
You were told okay, yeah, no, it wasn't
Y-
Jacqueline. No.
Young, petite, with dark hair, because, that
That
doesn't
could be
describe 80% of the
yeah,
women.
I was gonna say, dude, that's
That's the
literally
opposite
like
of me. You know it wasn't me
yeah.
then.
I know you.
Be like,
Uh,
she kind of old, her hair too bright, and she thick and yummy.
I
Yeah.
did I ever let you know, Jess, that I actually did make it over to Asylum?
You have, yes, and
I didn't know if
I
that was
will.
part of one of our episodes or not. It feels like it's been so long.
I think you
So,
mentioned going over there with Jay,
well, Jay
or about
was
Jay going over there a lot, and then it broke into you going over there. So I think it was all in the same episode last season.
that might have been it. Yeah. Was it?
Without elaborating, Mr. Raven here showed up recently at an asylum with a young lady on his arm.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh,
That
that's
that that
right.
that happened. That happened.
Without naming
That
stuff, like how's life going?
Some ups, some downs,
Good.
things. It's life, You got to take the good with the bad.
You're gonna have some ups and some downs.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yo,
yeah. Oh dear.
yeah, you
Oh,
walked right into
you too.
walked
Oh,
right
you
into
too.
that. You're like, fuck, I missed this every Tuesday.
Did you? I didn't. I feel like I'm being grilled a little bit here.
Speaking of that, we're just boring, and we were just happy that you have good times. So, I mean, I'm boring. I know you're not, DJ Raev. I guess it's just me.
Oh no, like Monday through Friday, I'm boring as fuck.
Speaking of days, we're going to premiere these on Thursdays now, because we feel as though it will reach more people on a Thursday audience instead of a Tuesday. But a good thing to note for the Tuesday people, if you don't like Thursday, just don't watch it and then wait till Tuesday. It'll be like it's brand new for you as well. So, you know, you'll
Or
still
watch
get
it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twice is nice. Especially because, you know, just makes us look like more people like the show. Just watch it from a different browser, because then it'll count twice for us as well. And other than that, we're also going to drop the Discord. I'm going to like edit it in. So I'm just going to like point like this and be like, all right, go to our Discord. Editing magic. Watch, I forget to do it. And then I just look stupid. No, all sorts of funny stuff and different news and all sorts of cool people are hanging out on our Discord when we're not here doing our episode. We are even talking about maybe doing like live drop-in sessions where people who are on the Discord can actually watch us as we're recording. I don't know if I don't want to get too scared and get stage fright though, you guys. I can't perform when people are watching. So
I can.
I know, I'm a fucking liar. I want a whole audience.
I want
it to be like
out so
royalty
bad
giving
right
birth back in
now.
the day, like calling everybody. Let's get a crowd going. So
Don't forget to get your phones out and press record.
Oh dear.
Send it right to OnlyFans. We're gonna jump into updates as to what has been happening in our scene. I don't think anybody needs to know this, but Nine Inch Nails is on tour, because I mean it's been a couple weeks. So if you don't know this, you already have lost your ability to probably buy tickets. I can imagine it's probably sold out or getting there. And I'm not gonna go because it's at Little Caesars Arena. So
I hate Little Caesar so much.
yeah, I saw Nine Inch Nails with Teeth, 2000. I don't know, was that 2005, something like that. Kobo. It was at Kobo, and it was a decent show. But Little Caesars Arena, I'll make it really quick. I went to see Smashing Pumpkins there last year. They put me on the ceiling. I got ceiling seats. I didn't realize that ceiling seating was a thing, but it is.
I didn't know that.
You're like literally like in the scaffolding.
Yeah, you're like holding on the whole time. You're and not only could I not even see the show, but I started hyperventilating after about 5 minutes, and I kept having to go walk out. Some lady saw that I was distraught. A security guard saw that I was distraught and asked what was going on, and I told them, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to leave. And she's like, hold on, wait right here. This lady was like an angel. She's like, this happens all the time. So I think I became part of a protocol at that point. They're like, oh shit. They're like, Heights anxiety protocol activated. They're like all speakering each other. So they put me in like this little mezzanine that was down more. And I was like, thank you so much. And she's like, no. She's like, wait here. This isn't it. I'm like, okay. Cause I mean, she just downgraded me, like whatever, downgrade me like 10, 11 fucking levels. Not ceiling. I'd like mid ceiling, I guess. So I was like, this is fine. Even though it's still kind of high up. No, they came back and they got me and pulled me down and put me in the VIP booth because I was scared. As an adult, I was scared and it upgraded me to VIP. I didn't even ask. I didn't ask. She just saw that I was freaking out. So as a tip, if you do go to Nine Inch Nails and you get ceiling seats and you didn't realize that you were being sat on the ceiling, there's a reason why those seats exist too. So trust me, I'm sure they get this all the time. Go ahead and fucking cry a little in the lobby and see how far it gets you. It might get you on Reznor's tour bus if you cry hard enough. And if you're lucky, he might just let you use his bathroom.
The bidet.
I was going to ask about the golden throne.
I bet the fucking bathroom on the tour bus is fucking. He's probably got a bidet in there as well. It's got like a whole spa. He's got like a fucking masseuse in there. Like he's got the works. Yeah,
I'm sure.
There's like a hot tub in it. The fucking tour bus is at least just 35% bathroom. You know. So other than Nine Inch Nails, some disturbing stuff happened in Detroit at a venue that we all know and love. We know.
Keep that love word out of your mouth on that venue. I've been there. I've had some wild moshes there in my life, but love and that venue never quite went hand in hand.
I will always remember
definitely.
Harpo's. This is the most Detroit fucking story in the entire world, like big Detroit energy. But I will always remember it as the first place I saw somebody get murdered. And that stays with you. And I'm gonna put my smile as a frown, and if it smiles, it's because I'm nervous, I swear. But it was the bodyguard, not bodyguard, one of the security guards, during orgy. This would have been back in 2004. Yeah, 2003, 2004. So they used to have just dudes doing the security, just standard scrawny guys in little t-shirts and stuff like that. And one guy, security guard, got shot outside at that show. And we thought Jay Gordon was messing around because he's like, you guys, it's like when you leave here, he's like, there's somebody outside that's shooting. And we were like, whatever, Jay, we're from the east side, you're from like Cali or whatever, you know, because nobody thought it was like, we just figured people were in the area shooting. And we walked out and sure enough, yeah, he's deceased. So
That's
Harpo's,
wild.
Harpo's,
Yeah,
yeah. That was
Harpo's.
right after that. That's when you saw their security just change, and it was like they had like dude. They'd have like 7 dudes just standing on the block, and they're just big dudes, like 7-foot tall, monstrous men. And I was like, right after that was actually the KMFDM show that everybody in the world was at, and that's when I noticed that they had those dudes, and I'm like, dang. I was like, well, I mean, at least they solved the issue. But Harpo's came under fire because they apparently, according to them, allegedly, I'm just reporting how things went down. They hosted a neo-Nazi black metal fest. I mean, that's the most straightforward way that you could say that. That's what it was. Now, to lay it out, and I can't even remember the names of the bands, and I'm not even going to say the names of the bands.
I was gonna say, don't even fucking repeat them.
No,
Yeah.
it was a whole festival of white supremacists. There's one band that was in there, was like a Mexican nationalist band. There was like, yeah, it was a whole array of hatred.
It was
and
Wankers
bigotry.
Are Us.
Yeah, essentially. It was I don't get laid and I'm mad about it. So now I'm in a hate band, Are Us. That's what it was. And so the owners of Harpo's came under fire for hosting this because I remember it being advertised for like weeks. I remember people were actually passing it around ahead of time, pointing out that these bands were not okay. But I guess that didn't get back to the owners at Harpo's. And
Bullshit.
I know, it's, again, I'm factually just reporting what they claimed, what was claimed, because they claimed that they didn't know. I mean, that's hard not to, you really should research any kind of band that's at your venue. And the owner even claimed that this band advertised it as location will be revealed once you buy tickets, that kind of thing. And that's not completely out of the ordinary, because like the Satanic Temple has done that before, because you get bigots that want to go and do violent things at like Satanic Temple events. So they will do stuff like that. So I guess according to Harpo's, that wasn't too shocking to see that, or out of the ordinary, just kind of weird. And then there were all sorts of other things. Now, I guess the bands also went out of their way to really, really hide what they were doing, because of course they were. Because they obviously figured that if they were public about it, it would get, obviously not approved. And allegedly they shut it down very, very quickly. I don't know how quickly it was, but either somebody's not telling the truth or somebody's not a good. You don't go into business if you're not ready to do research like that. That was a big fucking whoopsie goddamn daisy. To have something like that be an accident, like, so you sounded like you already definitely had a viewpoint on this, John, and I don't disagree with you, because it is pretty odd that you wouldn't, especially with some of the band names. Again, I'm not going to repeat any of them.
See, my viewpoint, and like, there's a lot I'm not going to
titles in it.
say because I don't want to out anybody.
And I didn't
Well,
mention the owner's name. I can't even remember it off the top of my head. It's just the
You
only
can't
thing I
pronounce
mentioned.
it. Don't worry.
I know.
I know a lot of people in the industry. I know other venue owners. I know people who had been approached for hosting this before Harpo's, and it wasn't a secret when they were shopping it. There's
Right.
people who were at Harpo's for that who are disputing what the owner said, and these are, personal connections who all say no, they're selling bullshit. I can't prove it one way or another, but my insiders are all telling me that no, that they're full of shit and they're trying to spin their way out of this. And it's not so much that they're, pro white supremacy. It's just they were more than willing to look the other way towards any of it for the dollar. And
Even
this
if it
whole
wasn't the dollar too, some people are just really spineless in a business kind of a position where like she might have been afraid to just stand up and say no, but like that's not okay either, regardless of whether it's for money or you're kind of being a coward and just can't say, hey, I don't
venue
want
owners
Neo-Nazi
say
bands in
yes
my
and no all the
venue.
time.
Yeah, you need to have kind of a spine if you're gonna have a venue like that. I just, the whole thing's built, like it's hard to even put words to it, how that can even occur.
I'm
with
already sure that a bunch of
accidentally.
events have already been canceled by, or a lot of bands that are not, who have been scheduled for events there and whatnot are canceling and are not going to be showing up.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean,
Well, wasn't there just this one this last weekend that was there and then ended up over on Bagley?
quite possibly, I don't
you mean
know, but
you mean the one place that we did an episode about when you say Bagley, or is there another place?
That place. I'm just tired of saying their name. For
Right.
better or for worse, I'm not going to knock them.
No, you're fine.
But Christ, I'm tired of talking about them. But I could have swore a show they just had there was
Was
originally supposed to
rescheduled.
be at Harpo's.
You could be right. They did have a show there recently. I can't think of what it is. I mean, I've not been sure for the past 10 years whether Harpo's is actually open or not. So I don't know if I'm gonna miss
Like,
that much.
didn't they used to do a lot of like Juggalo stuff, like Juggalo
Yeah.
adjacent stuff?
Yeah. Now that's pretty much at like the Majestic and Diesel Lounge. Out in,
Oh,
like
they do
Chesterfield.
stuff up at Diesel. Oh wow,
Mhm.
I
okay.
forgot
They do a lot of
Diesel
their after
existed.
party. Well, it's like the
Yeah.
Macomb County Connection, and where are they all from?
That kind of makes sense. That
Yep.
kind of makes
But yeah,
sense.
It used to be the
I
Hayloft
think
before then, because the guy from Critical Bill owned it.
I'm trying to fact check myself because I'm not positive, but I think it was Cyclone 9 that changed from Harpo's over.
Yes, I think you are correct. Actually, I mean, go ahead and fact check it, because I don't want to be wrong either. But I'm pretty
Because
sure it was
wasn't
Cyclone
access to
9.
concrete supposed to be on that bill as well?
I
Yep.
believe so.
Yep. And they definitely were like, no, we're washing our hands of the situation. We need to get out of here.
No, I don't
That's
blame
not their
Nope.
you know, they didn't want to be associated with that. And that was a big thing. There's no room for that kind of for those kinds of bands to be in a lot of the spaces that we want to be active in. And so it's just like, nope, sorry. That is a line you do not cross. And businesses should be on top of things, because you get caught up in a situation like this is some mark on your permanent record, essentially, in the public view. And oh, we didn't do the research. Well, oh, I'm sorry.
Fuck them.
That does not excuse you. That just makes you look like a bad
Yeah.
business owner,
Yeah.
or B, you're complacent with it and you were just doing it for the money. And either of those are completely inexcusable. Sorry. Sorry.
I'm on board
And I
with
just
what. Oh, I'm sorry.
say I did just double check it. It was Cyclone 9 changed
it?
from Harpo's to City Club.
I'm the type of person where I make about 800 mistakes a day, and I want to feel
Same.
empathy for somebody making a mistake, overseeing. But again, this is a colossal fucking whoopsie daisy. So either somebody's lying and they knew, which seems like it could be plausible because it's real easy to backtrack or backpedal. But even if this business owner isn't lying and just didn't know somehow,
It's still
it's up
poor
to-
job performance.
yeah, okay, so it's like if I'm speeding 90 miles an hour on the freeway and I get pulled over, I can't say, I'm sorry, officer, I had no idea that there was a speed limit that existed, because I fucking have my driver's license, I'm on the road agreeing to follow by the road rules. And so if I get pulled over and arrested or ticketed for something like that, I can't act surprised. And if you're in the business of hosting entertainment at a public venue, it's your job to protect the public to at least a certain degree of, maybe I should take this band name and punch it into the Google and see what comes up. So that's kind of my thing there. Like, you can't, even if she really didn't know, which again seems neither here nor there, it's still her job to know, if that makes sense. Like, it's her job to look into that
100%.
and research it. So I'm on board with you,
100%.
Raven.
Yeah.
And the
also
reality is, if they had come out and said, yeah, it was fucked up, But truth be told, we didn't even look. We just said, someone just kind of came and said, hey, we'll make you this much money. And we said, hey, fucking cool, pay me. And we didn't even look. Like, I could respect that more.
Yeah.
Because at least you're owning it. I mean, fuck, own your fuck up.
Right.
I can deal with a fuck up. Own your fuck up. But don't fuck up and then try to bullshit me on it.
Yeah. And
Because
let's be fair. Like, they're not exactly one of those venues that you'd be like, you know, they're always getting like crazy good, like big bands to show up all the time or anything like that. They're kind of one of the more forgotten. I remember hearing stories about how they used to have like Slayer come in and like these like like real like 80s 90s metal bands come in, and there would be brutal pits, like
oh yeah,
dudes be getting cut up, you know, and like, you know, basically it's just it is a slaughterhouse, you know.
Harpo's was just straight fucking violence. Back
Yeah,
in the
it was
day.
violence. I heard though in the past they also had issues with white nationalists at punk shows, which was a common thing. So it's just like, you know, this obvious situation is keeps rearing its head, and you have to wonder, is it just coincidence, or, you know, is it a pattern?
I can remember going back a long time ago to when a band called Kittie was still new. And I went and saw Kittie at
They're
Harpo's
still
with.
new to me.
It's so long ago that Disturbed was their opening act.
Shut up.
Wow.
Yeah, I caught that show at Harpo's, and there was some suspender wearing, shaved head motherfuckers doing the whole stiff right arm thing. But there were like 6 of them, and they got their asses kicked and ran out of there.
Yeah.
That was
Even
also
back
about.
then.
Truth be told, like I think Kittie, those girls would have been like 17, 18, 19 years old then. Still to this day, the most brutal pit I've ever been in was the Kittie Pit. Like, it was one of the few times I actually feared for my life a little bit was that pit.
Damn.
You know, that just comes off so awkward, just like
The
on
Kittie
paper.
Pit.
Like the Kittie Pit, like you're like, the most brutal pit I've
If-
ever been in was the Kittie Pit. It's
If
like,
there's an
the
adult
motherfuckers they'd upended garbage cans and throwing garbage cans into the pit. I got punched harder than I've ever been punched in my life in that pit by like this 5'3" little blonde. I don't know what that was all about. Like, part of me was scared, part of me was in love. I didn't know what the hell was going on. It was a great night.
you're like, did I just get laid?
Get some sense knocked.
Yeah.
Get some sense knocked into
So
him.
when are you gonna open the strip club in Canada called the Kittie Pit? You have to
that's-
spell it like that, because I'm pretty sure their name's probably not copywritten in Canada. I don't know how those international laws go. Please abide by all copyright laws. I'm not telling you to break the law, nor am I giving you legal advice. I'm not a lawyer, but you should start the Kittie Pit.
I know at least a couple of them only live a short bit down the road from me.
Wait, aren't they Canadian?
Yeah, they're from
Oh,
London,
fuck.
Ontario, which is
No,
like
that
2
means-
hours from me.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck, you
they're
gotta
on
do
the
this in
way
reverse
to-
now.
they're on the way
You
to
have to come to
Toronto.
Like,
America and start.
I hear
it
stories
here.
at Asylum of people being like, "Oh yeah, I was at such and such bar, and you know, Kittie's drummer was my bartender." No, I'm not fucking with them.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking with them. I don't want them taking the short drive to Windsor and whooping my ass.
So, do you have an inherent fear of the band Kittie?
My mom asked how they're doing.
Hmm.
Isn't that
I
like
don't know
2
if
months ago we were driving and my mom's like, whatever happened to Kittie? She's like, does Kittie still do music? She's like, those
Yeah, they
metal
just
girls,
released some new
Kittie?
stuff recently.
And I played that for her. I was like, yeah, Bo, here you go. And I showed her. She's like, wow. I was like, I finally saw them in concert at Sick New World fucking 2 years ago because I'm an adult and I could finally go on my own. Thanks, Mom. So yeah, they're doing good. It was a good show.
I used to be acquainted with their original bass player, and she was one of just like the coolest chicks ever.
She the one that
like-
got kicked out? For
I
being
think
a
she quit.
Satanist?
They were still in high school when the original bass player quit. On the Spit album, the bass player you hear is not the one that was in the videos and did the tour for that album.
Yep,
So the
I
one who was
remember.
on album I was acquainted with, Tanya Candler, I believe her name was.
Uh-huh.
I haven't talked to her in probably 25 years now, but like I've never heard anything bad about them. Nothing bad whatsoever. Love their music. Anything, any of the side projects I've seen from any of them is all. I'm just a huge fucking fan, and I don't want to piss them off.
I wouldn't either. I've never met them, and I don't want to piss them off. So, that would have been a crazy ass show, though. You said Disturbed as well. God, this would have
Yeah,
been.
they were
Disturbed
the Disturbed
opening
was
for
the opener.
Kittie.
I know what I was
Before-
doing that night. I was
Before
going to
the
sleep.
Sickness album came out.
I was going to sleep because I probably had to get up for fucking school the next day.
Yeah, you had
That's
to
what I was
be in
doing.
social studies class in the AM,
Yeah,
you know.
I had to go to metal tech in the fucking morning, and not the kind of metal tech I wanted. You were going to the type of metal tech I wanted. I was sitting there
Yeah,
having
saw-
a wild, like,
that's the real metal
like
tech.
I saw Slipknot at Harpo's 25 years ago and walked out on the concert.
Right
I did that to Three Teeth a long time ago. I remember the first time I saw Three Teeth, I was like, nah, this isn't for me. And I walked out, which is weird now. Anyway,
there. That's got to come 360 or 180, hasn't it?
yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit.
I
You
said
guys-
360, but I meant 180.
Did you guys send me anything?
I did.
He did. I don't have any music to review today.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you have. Where did you send it under?
Uh,
Did you email it to me?
No, I didn't email it to you. I sent it in the group chat. Like, I don't know, scroll back like 4
Oh,
messages with your old
Yes,
ass.
okay. I see it. I'm gonna boot it up.
to end the Harpo's discussion,
Yes,
get your shit
please.
together. That's all we're saying. Get your shit together.
Do
Get
better.
your shit together.
Do better. Yes. There
Yes,
you go.
be better people, and please.
And clean your bathrooms.
Yes, please give us toilet paper. Like, why can't there be heat? You know, like, why can't we have basic amenities like water and a pot to piss in? I go there and I feel like a little fucking Victorian child. Okay, I have to
feel
like
like-
pee in the streets and eat fucking stale bread and fight
I
off the
feel like
rats and shit.
I feel like not cleaning the bathrooms is like almost like the good luck charm of Harpo's, you know, like you hear about like the sports writers, and they're like they interview
No.
the they interview the sports players and they don't change their socks, or like, you know, they don't clean the bathrooms. That's why they have such good luck. Well, apparently, you know, someone probably did some work over a weekend or something, and they ended up, you know, booking some irreputable bands, and all of a sudden this is where they're at, you know.
I think
Those-
that Gigi Allen jerked off in their bathrooms back in 1991, and now they're never gonna clean them
Did it
because
clean them?
that's their lucky charm. Yeah, because if they do, then all the bands are gonna just start to fucking suck.
Yeah.
It's like I
And,
can remember back 25 years ago, the one of the urinals used to leak onto the floor, something awful. So like I'd go in there to use the washroom, and like I'd splash my way across the bathroom floor, and it was so vile that when I got home, I would take my combat boots off and leave them outside and spray them down with Lysol and leave them outside overnight because I didn't even want them in my house.
you should have just
Gross.
burnt them. I know that's expensive to have a new pair of boots each concert, but depending on the band,
yeah.
it could be worth it.
I was young and
Ugh.
broke. That wasn't happening. It was
Like-
Lysol and hope.
Oh,
Oh,
gross.
let me share some
Yeah.
stuff. Not share
Always
some
the
stuff like
potty
that.
talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna share the screen and the sound, or should we just share sound? Is there even a music video?
You haven't even used the soundboard once today.
No, I gotta boot that up.
Please
Oh,
no.
you guys aren't looking. Here we go. Can you see everything?
I can
Yeah.
see.
All right. So you sure I don't have anything weird.
Not in
about-
dark mode though. Shame. Shame.
I like to toughen up my eyes to the pain.
No.
So I'm going.
And people
43
can see that
seconds
we're
in.
using Facebook Messenger on there because we're all old.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah, I
God.
don't have any more old shit
Outed.
other than, you know.
Well, I think
I've
our
got
viewers
videos
know
about
we're
Jack
old.
Russell Terriers here and shit. You can absolutely tell this is my algorithm.
Oh,
And
God.
Dorian mode, you know, music theory, smart stuff. So this is Matt Black.
This is
also
Matt
started-
Black.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything from Matt Black in a minute. I forget about him every once in a while, and then I notice that he doesn't always drop like, or maybe I'm wrong on this. You can absolutely correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm just talking my ass. Like I'll hear a lot of like singles and random tracks that get dropped instead of full, you know, here's a bunch of songs
EPs
at
or-
once. Yeah.
yeah.
And again, if I'm absolutely wrong on that and talking out my ass, feel free to correct me. But let's turn this up a little bit, but not too loud. Because we're old. and I'm gonna play about 15 seconds of it, and then we'll talk a little bit, and then I'll get naughty and I'll play maybe 15 more seconds because they haven't been flagging that. I think that would, why is it always, it's got, the 15 seconds thing is such like, it's such a teaser. I get such blue balls.
That's good though for
Yeah.
viewership though.
It is, it really is.
Because it's like,
then you guys
hey,
have to go
that
look it
sounded
up.
good. If you never heard that, you listen to it, and if it does the thing that music does.
I had one of my friends say that they found a track off of our show.
Oh,
So
look at
I think
that! See,
I think it was you, Raev, that you dropped. I can't remember which track it was. I'll have to ask her. But yes.
Well, he is the
It's
one
perfect.
with he's the taste maker of the crew,
Mhm.
right? I would like to say out of the three of us, Ray, obviously being a DJ and everything,
Yeah.
he'd have to have, be the taste maker out of the three of us.
And
I
being with a
always
little
come
bit
up
of
with
a
absurd shit.
shameless promotion, I actually played this track at Asylum on Saturday.
Oh, look at that.
If I ever went to Canada, I would know.
It's got like the stereotypical modern goth vibe to it. The thumping bass and the kind of like the vocals with the echo and everything. It's got that vibe. Like when you go into like the goth club, you open the door, everyone's dancing in slow-mo, and it's got you know,
These
the
beats have such like a jungle vibe,
I
like
like it.
jungle style drum and bass type of techno kind of vibe in a way.
It doesn't
Like-
have that speed, but it's got that it's got that, like me and you were both bobbing. I was watching we were both bobbing our heads like
Yeah.
we're vibing, that's for sure.
Let me play a couple more seconds and like I said, be naughty.
I lost another friend. Tonight you're cold again. Like strangers feel the night. I don't know you anymore.
Don't want to get in trouble. Yeah, you can tell that it's a little slower than what I'm used to because I like came in too early with the head bob. But I love it. It's very saucy, seductive. It's like eating a
Oh, yeah.
caramello with your ears. And that's what
Mhm.
I like. Please
Mhm.
stop sharing this.
It's like all weekend leading into Asylum, Marcy kept pointing out that song. It's like, so you're going to play that for me, right? And she probably reminded me 15 times leading into it that she really wanted to hear that song. So,
Mm-hmm.
of course, I played it for her.
Well, one day I will come to Asylum and I will get to hear great things like that as well. And I can't remember, did you say you had anything this week, Raven? Or are we just,
Well,
it's okay if you don't.
No.
I didn't
So,
either.
well, the one I don't have any music, like music in that way to share, but I was going to announce, for those who aren't into, well, I'll just say it. Devo announced their 50th anniversary tour. So all you Devo heads out there, I know they're from Ohio, but
That makes
Nobody's
so many things make
perfect.
sense. Yeah.
legends, they're doing a full nation tour. I would love. I think they said maybe the Fillmore, something like that. They're not doing a stadium tour, unlike you, Trent.
Not Little Caesars
Um,
Arena. I'm in.
Not Little Caesars Arena. I don't know how expensive tickets are going to be. I think tickets are actually going on sale shortly. But man, to see Devo on their 50th anniversary tour, that'd be sick.
That's crazy.
I think it'd
to
be
think.
so cool.
That means they got to be in like their 70s at this point. They'd have to be.
I mean they're no spring chickens, but they're so weird and I love it.
Yeah.
Like
They've always been weird.
dudes
They will
wearing
always-
bright yellow jumpsuits with weird red futuristic hats that allows you to like do telekinetic stuff. I don't know what they're actually for. They're weird. It's weird stuff, but I love it. That's the one thing I love about Devo. They're just weird.
Well, if we are all out of new news for people, We will go
May I
in.
share another concert announcement?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
okay.
go for it,
Go
yeah.
ahead. Fuck what I was gonna do. Shit.
This is for Caesars Windsor. Is where it's going to be at on Thursday, July 3rd, with tickets going on sale February 6th. A little bit of an old school show with the Psychedelic Furs and the Mission.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a combo. That's a
Oh.
combo.
You notice my delayed reaction because I was like, say you were like psychedelic furs, and I was like, eh. And then you were like the mission. I was like, oh.
Now you piqued
Mm.
my interest.
Yeah, you picked me.
sir.
Yeah, you had my
Just 10
attention.
minutes from home,
Interest,
so
now
you
you
know
have my
I'm going to be
attention.
there.
Yeah.
And with that being July 3rd, that means it's a concert going into a long weekend for most of us. Yeah.
Oh, that's like near my birthday, kind of.
Man, but that travel across the border for us on this side is going to be a pain in the
I might as well fucking just swim.
Dude,
and
you
chance
need
the
to get
Coast
your
Guard.
papers signed for that. I feel like
Yeah.
that's a trip over there.
Yeah,
I mean, the mission's pretty dope.
it's a big deal. It's a
Pretty
big deal.
dope.
It's interesting that they're doing Windsor and not Detroit, though. Or are they
Typically,
doing-
what happens with Caesars if the bands will sign a contract to do all Caesars locations. So they'll
And
do,
we
you know,
don't
if they're
have-
if you want to do Caesars and like Vegas, you got to do Caesars in Windsor as well.
So I was gonna bring that up. I was like, it's all the same, like Caesars and everything. So my Caesars rewards will count at your guys' international Caesars.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But they
yeah,
do
yeah.
not count at Little Caesars. That is the only one. And that's the most horrible joke I'm gonna make all night. I can.
That's the one that
guarantee you.
matters the most.
It really
Yes, I
is. That's the
know.
one I use constantly.
free-
I have
no-
a hot and ready in my fridge right now. I'm poor, bro.
Oh, yeah,
I'm like,
the Illich
please,
family.
can I have the crack pizza?
Yeah, the Illich
Yeah.
family really loving you.
I'm like, or please take more of my money. Oh, yeah, that
So
sounds like a
just
sweet
call me
one.
Little Caesars because you know I'm hot, ready, tasteless, and a little greasy.
Wow.
Oh, you had that
ready
he had that ready to go.
Oh, they're gonna
Good.
send us a cease and desist. He's just gonna show up to our houses, except you. You're crossing, you're in another country. You're safe. Oh God. Anyway,
Good times.
good times. So our third portion, the Gab Gripe game. We're doing Gab tonight because we're talking about fucking merch. Because there are people where they go to the concert and that is what they live for. And I'm never that person because I'm always broke at the concert. So I'll do things like get a shirt afterwards that I didn't get at the concert, but I went to the concert, so it's fine. It still counts. But we're not even just talking about merch that we own. And we are. We're gonna talk about like our beloved merch, our most valuable merch, things that are rare merch, things that are signed, and even just things that are special to us or even memorabilia that other people don't necessarily have. And I'm gonna start with you, Raven, because I got my stuff, but oh, here it is. Okay. I want to make sure it's like there. Because you had a really sweet ass fucking thing that I liked, and I don't even know if I see it up on the wall behind you.
No, it's not. It's in a different room.
It's in a different
But
room.
let's see. Does this work? No. Does this
No.
work? No. Hold on.
You're
I
like
got
none of
this.
them work.
I got this. And there we go. So ta-da! There we go. So this is in my like living room. My one of my favorite things, which was like kind of like it was kind of a splurge buy. I went to Fixation the past year. It was 2 years ago, I want to say. And I really liked Author and Punisher's performance. It really kind of resonated within me because I thought that the amalgamation of engineering and music kind of, and when I say engineering, I mean literal engineering, like how machines were put together to create music in a way that's not synthesizers and this, that, and the other thing. It's actual like heavy machinery and like levers and like all kinds of cool ass like stuff that like a extremely brilliant mind would come up with to create music and to facilitate that in a live show was just it was different in like a lot of other performances that I've ever seen. So my signed author and Punisher poster with the schematics for like the machinery itself. Also it says like these machine kill fascists. I love that line at
Love
the
it.
bottom there. I don't know. This is a kind of a blurry photo, but it's the one on the left. I don't know if it shows it on the left. Does it show it on the left on your side? Or does it mirror it? I don't know. Anyway, let me go back here. So that's mine. It's a signed poster. But it looks cool. I love the aesthetics of it because of blueprints and science and music, and it's just a beautiful, combination of things, and that's what I really love about it. It's just spoke to me. But there was something that got away, and I think that you, Raev, might actually got one of the things from the show that I was talking about, but we'll see what you share.
Yeah, no, I didn't dig it out of the collection, but yes, if you're talking about that Gary Newman signed vinyl, yeah, we
Yeah.
picked that up with the at the Royal Oak Music. What is it? Yep, Royal Oak Music Theater.
Theater. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it come pre-signed or did you meet him?
No, it was pre-signed.
pre-signed.
I'm not cool enough to have met him,
That's fine.
and
That
like
happens.
I considered digging that vinyl out, but with my luck, I'd get it out and try and show it and like drop it, and then I have to live with myself for that.
Yep.
So no, but yes, that signed vinyl from Gary Newman is one of the prizes of our household. But in general, anytime we go to a concert, like I buy a lot of concert T-shirts because I want to support by buying merch as much as I can because their music sales bands don't make what they used to. Their touring bands don't make what they used to. So I try to buy as much merch as I can.
Yep.
So I almost always leave with some kind of digital, or not digital, but physical media, vinyl if possible, but always leave with a shirt.
It's almost like when you go to the movies and you wonder why concessions are so high, and it's because the concessions basically are the thing that keep them in business. Like bands make the most money off merch, hands down. So when you're buying things like, shirts and stuff, certain shirts from certain bands we won't mention at the concert, then you are helping to support them. Do you have anything else, John, that you wanted to share? Because I have a few things. I'm not going to make it like too long.
I mean, go ahead.
Okay.
I talked about, the favorite of the favorite.
So you would think that there's a certain band that I have a lot of merch of, and no, you're wrong. I don't. This is the only thing I have, unfortunately. But there is a certain other legendary band that I've been obsessed with for over 20 years, and DJ Raev, you know exactly where I'm going with this and who I'm talking about. And I have some things that are valuable. I'm going to do the share screen thing really quick because I don't have a picture of it, but I met, where's the picture of him with the baby? That's my baby. That's Ogre right there. He looks like an adorable grandpa, right? He was so overcome with joy. He was just like, he loved that kid. I was like, dang. And at that convention, it was Motor City Nightmares, which I'm sure they still do it. If you guys don't remember this movie from the 1990s, it's like 1993. It's a very horrifying
I
movie.
can never forget it.
Yes, especially the end scene. Oh yeah.
What
Very
can
harrowing.
you for those who are not big skinny puppy heads,
Oops.
can you give us a short? I'm a big movie fan. I love bad movies, horror movies, all that shit. So could you give us like a quick rundown, like a blurb?
So yes, I'm glad that you asked. The Doom Generation was starring Rose McGowan. That was probably one of her first movies. Also had the one dude who he was Frank, I think, in Donnie Darko or whatever. And he was in a couple other movies. I think he was in Independence Day. But it was this gritty B movie that Skinny Puppy was in the beginning of, because Skinny Puppy, Ogre very specifically, has always been big into the idea of acting, and he's been in Repo and all that in the later years in 2000s. He actually tried out for the Crow, the original Crow, and did not get the part. but they made it into the beginning of this movie, The Doom Generation, which is a little B movie that came out in the 90s and is disturbing as hell. It's got everybody in it. It's got Perry Farrell from Jane's Addiction. It's got a homegirl from Married with Children, the neighbor. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. I used to love that show when I was a kid. But it has like everybody's got Margaret Cho. This movie had like every single person for no reason. And in the beginning, so it's over 30 years old, so I'm just gonna spoil it. Skinny Puppy, all three of them, Dwayne included, before he passed on, unfortunately, were in it, and they tried to beat up the main character and her boyfriend because they were leaving a ministry show, and they were just like some punk dudes that tried to beat them up. And Ogre's only line in the movie, he even asked me because he didn't remember being in the movie. He's like, wow, I was in this movie, because he was on a lot of drugs in the 90s, so he doesn't remember. But he's like, I think I had a line in that. And I was like, yeah, you did. He's like, what was my line? And he's like, time to die, cocksucker. And I'm like, yeah, that was it. And that was his only line. And then Kevin Key actually broke his ankle in that movie too, because he rolled off the trunk and fell. So if you're ever interested, you can look that up on YouTube. It's like the first 5 minutes of the movie. They were literally like the first antagonists. And he was so fucking blown away by the fact that I presented him with a copy of the Doom Generation and had him sign it. So I'm probably one of the only people with an autographed copy of this movie by Ogre, because he straight up said, he's like, nobody's ever brought this back up to me. Like nobody has ever. And the one next to it is obviously my DVD copy of Great or Wrong of the Right, which I had for years and years, and I brought it in for him to sign. I'm gonna stop share. Then my other thing that has actually got monetary value to it, I wear it all the time at the club, so don't come for me. I swear, if you snatch this off my neck while I'm drunk, I'm gonna have so many people on you like a CIA agent. So the outside of the box, this is very handsome Rock Love jewelry. It looks like it's well loved because it is. I've worn it a million times. I actually thought this was stolen in a break-in at MacArthur House, because my house has been broken into about 3 times, and I couldn't find it after the 3rd time, and I really thought it was like stolen in the robbery. Not robbery, burglary. I even told Ogre about that, and he's like, oh my God. He's like, do you have any idea how much that's worth? And I'm like, because there were only 200 of these made. 4 fans of Litany, which was like their fan club. I don't even know if the message board is still up. And you had to go through, like, it was like playing the game Myst and fucking beating it. It was that hard to figure out all these Easter eggs to get to the order screen to be able to order this. And there's only 200 of them made. And you probably barely see it. So that's a piece of the lyric from the album, Ogre album, not Skinny Puppy album, that was out at the time. And he actually typed it out on a typewriter and cut it up into pieces. And it's basically enameled into that. So I have part of the lyrics, and the other 200 people have the rest of the lyrics. And on the back, hardly see it anymore, but it's engraved and it says number 35, Ogre. And it's like, he's like, you don't understand. He's like, these are so rare to come across. Like, if you threw this up on eBay, you know, it's Skinny Puppy memorabilia. I'm not getting like $10,000 for it or anything. But looking at some of their merch up there, like $600 to $900 for some posters that were signed and stuff. I'm like, if things ever go tits up in life and I'm that desperate. Other than that, I'm getting buried in it. So I'm sorry to the other 200 people, but nobody's ever getting number 35. So.
Hey, Raven. While we were talking, Marcy brought me the
Oh,
there it is.
See, look how cool that is. Like, look at it. Like the signature in the black on the. It looks so good.
Get the intruder up. Yeah, it's pretty pimp.
Yeah,
it's.
And I don't even remember how expensive. It wasn't even like that pricey either. It was like 50. Was it $50 or something like that?
I think it was like $50.
Like. For a record, like, is it a double disc record or is it a single record? I don't know.
I've never even opened it.
Yeah.
I'll eventually get around to listening to it, but I just haven't been able to sack up to it yet.
Yeah. Like that's the thing. It's just like it's a cool looking record. It's signed. My thing is like I got a t-shirt at that show, and I was like, do I want to carry around a t-shirt and a record? And yes, I was that guy. But at the same time, I was just like, maybe I'll come back, and on the way out, if they have one, I'll buy one. And they didn't, because it clearly obviously is cool and sold out.
See, I left about halfway through Ministry's set, and that's when we bought it.
Oh, really? You might have gotten the like one of the last copies, yeah?
Yeah, I think it was one of the last copies, but I had to work the next morning. So halfway through ministry, I'm like, I've seen them like 9 times. I can leave during fucking ministry.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
when I ended up snagging it.
Yep. And I got out before their finale, but it was and I checked on the way out. I 100% checked. But I was like, ah, bummer, like whatever. But there are plenty of other different pieces of like sentimental art slash music slash like signed stuff. Like it doesn't even have to be signed stuff. Like there's plenty of cool stuff. Like there's like a grail piece that I would love to get, which is like an original like Joy Division like single that's out there that's floating around on the internet. But they sell for like way too much money.
It's
See you on
funny you say
another
that because
episode.
I do have some things I've pulled up on eBay that are wildly expensive merch wise of
Yeah.
rare merch. I guess when we're done sharing merches, we can dive into that part.
If you want, yeah,
Are you-
sure.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Is that okay? I have one more thing.
John, what did you want to say? What did you want to say?
I would say if you, I mean, we could do it now. We're on another episode. We could talk about like the coolest bit of obscure goth industrial whatever piece of memorabilia we have in general that may not be related to concert merch, because I could definitely add something to that.
Go for it. Honestly, I'm intrigued
Oh,
now.
way back in the day when the Batcave was like one of the only places that did anything like this, back in England.
I was
They
gonna say
released
like
a
actual Batcave.
yeah,
Like
the
okay.
Batcave.
All right.
They released a record. It's like young hymns for fuck was it? Yeah, like, I forget the name of it at this point. It was just fucked up because I own it. It was like I was in this like middle of like small town Ontario record store and going through what they classified as like the punk section, and came across this record that was released from the Batcave way back, and was able to get my hands on an original pressing of that, and it just absolutely blew my mind. That's back when Specimen was running the club and they were the house band of it. Had like some early Alien Sex Fiend
I
and
was about to
Sex
ask if it was
Beat.
during that whole era. Yeah.
It was. And it's like, how the fuck do you expect to find that used in like middle of nowhere Ontario? But I'm so happy to have had that. I've listened to that record so many times, and just from front to back, it is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
I love the artwork on it. It looks so cool.
I had somebody give me a Wax Trax like original CD pressing because they were like, yeah, I lived in Chicago at the time. They're like, I went to this one place. You would have liked this place. It was called Wax Trax. And I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, yeah, I'm enrolled right now. I just got accepted into the university. I'm about to be in Big Face next year. Like, shit. I was like, tell me more. And like, he gave it to me. Like, he let me have it. I'm like, holy shit. So I do have that. That's at my mom's house. That same with a lot of my memorabilia is still packed up at my mom's. It's the most millennial thing ever. But yeah, I haven't really dug into that because I'm like, I know it's rare. I don't even know what I have though. I haven't even looked it up. I haven't done anything like that.
If you look at the group chat, I just sent you the track listing of that record.
Young Limbs and Dumb Hymns, right? Or Numb Hymns.
Numb Hymns.
Numb Hymns. That's even hard. That's hard to say.
Yeah, that is. Numb Hymns.
Yes. Specimen and Sex Beat, Test Department, Patty Paladin, James
I love
Percy.
Test Department.
Meat of Youth, Brilliant, Alien Sex Fiend, and the Venomettes.
Huh. That's a good one.
Some like early 80s like gothy weird shit. All
released in 1983 by the Batcave.
Yeah. I love it.
And it was more or less just bands that were hanging out there. It's like, how do I find that in a corner, like I said, of a small town Ontario record store? I mean, and don't get me wrong, this record store, the guy, it's a house that's been converted. So like the garage in every room is nothing but crates of records. You can barely move without you bumping into a crate of records, just tens of thousands of them. So I
That's
mean, I found
crazy.
some wild shit in there.
Yeah, he didn't even know he had a million
Yeah,
years ago.
I about pooped myself when I saw that one. It's like,
I guess even though this is concert related, it's not merch at all. It's my band from Sick New World a couple of years ago. I always keep wristbands. I don't know if you guys are like that, where you got to keep a trophy like a serial killer, but I do. So I have like stubs, like a million of them for no reason, all that sort of stuff. The other thing I have, and I thought about it earlier, and this is when I would have to dig through my high school crates to find. When I went and saw Orgy at Clutch Cargo's back in like 2000, we
oh wow, I
incidentally,
forgot that place existed.
I know, right? We incidentally ended up meeting Paige Haley, the bassist, because he was on an upper balcony, and we had one of those demo CDs. Remember back in line at concerts, like people would hand you like demo CDs and stuff out in line, like listen to my band. It was the only thing I had for him to sign, so I asked for his autograph, and I have just like some demo CD that's not theirs with his autograph on it and part of his thumbprint. But I remember at the time when I was a teenager, I cherished that thing so hard. I would sit there, I would like stare at it and like do all sorts of weird stuff, like just, like, wow, I really met him, because I was like 16. They were like my favorite band ever. So, yes. Now, I do have some things pulled up of like crazy merch.
Oh, are you talking about like on the interwebs?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Do we have time for this? Are we gonna take a look at this now, or do
Yeah,
you
we'll
want to
take a little
save
bit
it
of
for
a look
another
at it. We'll
session?
take a little bit. No.
Okay, okay.
Let's do it. We're already talking about merch. Fuck it. So, Joy Division. Ian and Debbie Curtis
Oh,
handwritten fucking letter.
oh God.
$8,590.
Is this actually bids or is this what they're asking? Yeah, this
That's
is what
what
they're
they're
asking.
asking.
He's
So,
got really great handwriting.
yeah, they did. Look at all that.
Wait, is it
Oh,
like a compilation of handwritten letters?
yeah, there's a couple of them back and forth. One in cart. So I don't know who out there is in our scene that's got $8,500, but bless
None of
you.
my friends.
Yeah, nobody I fucking know, that's for sure. How the hell? Hold on, I gotta go like this really quick.
Oh, that doesn't count. Like
No, hold on.
use
I didn't mean to do that.
synthesizers from signed by Gary Newman. Like those
No.
synthesizers alone are several thousands of dollars.
I
Also,
want one.
the market is so speculative. It's all bullshit. It is all bullshit.
There we go. I was just trying to get that to fucking
5,000, $5,500 for a poster?
poster.
These prices are absolutely ridiculous.
$3,000. So the Joy Division stuff is crazy.
Yeah, no
I
kidding.
didn't pull up every band in the world. I pulled up Skinny Puppy because again, now this is more like what I would expect. Rabies and who the hell now if Dwayne signed it, that's what makes it so fucking valuable. No, it's just Kevin, and Al Jorgensen. Yeah, there's Al right there. Interesting. Yeah, I did Gary Newman, but it's signed by Gary Newman. That's
Yeah,
why
it's
it's
not
so
like
much.
his. If it was his, like who knows how high? Like you can ask for whatever you want. That's the thing with eBay. But like to be fair, like those
To be
Moogs are
fair,
expensive. Those Moogs are expensive.
They are on their own, signed by Gary Newman.
But then you get a
And
Moog that's like,
it wasn't
how do you get Gary Newman to
his.
sign your Moog?
I don't
Like,
know. I think that he's probably the only. That's a sweet ass move though.
hell yeah. Like the Moog in and of itself is like valuable.
Uh, uh, the fucking T-shirt is $1,500.
I don't think so.
Fender for that much with his
How do you
signature on
have
it.
that many?
Sure.
Someone clearly got a bunch of your stuff signed
There's a
by
microphone.
Gary Newman.
Yeah. What about Bauhaus? What the fuck?
You got to think about you got to think
It's
about
not the band.
no.
It's like a bunch of art styles.
Yeah. Vintage. I don't know. I like Bauhaus like architecture and
Yeah, that's what
design,
came up. Okay, so that's gonna take forever to go through. But
Yeah.
yeah, just to show like how
You gotta
absurd.
see what you have to do is it's really all about the it's about rarity.
Stop
And
share.
and since Joy Division was such one of those, they were just such one of those bands that was like a big, they made such a wave in music,
And
and were
also
only
this,
around for such a short period of time.
yeah, I was gonna say the scarcity of the fact that there was only so many years
That's
for him to have signed anything.
exactly. So it's not like a lot of people were going to have a lot of things that, Ian Curtis himself could actually have signed, because it's just there's a like a window of what, like 4 or 5 years tops, that he would have been able to, like, sign, like, and they weren't exactly that big of a band, to want to even have stuff really even signed, like they were growing and they were getting
Mhm.
bigger, but like they never even made it to America. I don't even think they ever did a show. Did they?
I
At
don't
CBGB?
believe I don't believe so.
I don't
That's
know if they
interesting you
ever
bring that
did.
up. That
Yeah,
is
I don't know if
interesting you
they
bring that
ever
up.
ended up doing a show in America. I'm not 100% sure. Someone maybe bleep bloop it down below.
Yes,
Um,
if they did correct us, I love to be corrected. It's what I'm into.
Yeah, or
Um,
maybe post something in our Discord or some
yep,
stuff. I
join
don't
us on our
know.
Discord. We're
Yeah,
lonely
for
there.
sure.
I will say the most morbid merch, not merch, memorabilia. I know this was at least 10 years ago and is the most expensive Joy Division memorabilia to date. But does anybody remember when the table that they found him over was auctioned at auction like 10 years
I
ago?
don't remember that.
No,
Yeah, let me
they
look
they
this up because I want to make sure that this wasn't I'm not just talking some crazy.
I think you're talking crazy shit, because how do you even verify it?
yeah, that
Yep,
that
here it
actually
is.
that
Spin. Joy
there.
Divided. Ian Curtis's kitchen table sells for $13,000. Band does not approve of this. Like
I
they were
mean,
very much heard of it.
why would you?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
so who's the person that, like, who gets the table? A, like, no, who has the table to sell it? A, and B.
Tell Harrop had got it from Deborah Curtis and daughter Natalie Curtis and it authenticated the object. So appears to
Okay,
be
so they're like,
true.
yeah, that's the table.
That is it. They're like, thanks for bringing that back up, asshole. They're like, yeah, I'll never forget the day. But yeah, it $13,000. Yeah, it was 2013. I don't know why that stuck out in my mind, just because it was the gothest shit I think I've ever heard in my whole life.
You're a fucked
And
up human being to buy that.
yeah, it's been over 10 years and that still is in my memory. So that's the thing. And
Nice.
I think that is probably officially the most highest priced goth memorabilia I've seen personally. I think
Thirteen
that
thousand dollars for a table,
that
and
wraps it up.
was it a Bauhaus table? Because
Oh, come on now. Too soon. Too soon. Oh, you're gonna
hey,
get
look,
fucking
we're
haunted so
we're
hard later.
hey, haunted by Ian Curtis himself. Like, give me bad dreams, Ian Curtis. That's okay. Maybe
You're
I'll
like,
be inspired
uh-oh,
to write something.
haunt me, Ian,
Haunt me,
please.
daddy.
Oh,
That'd be a good T-shirt, right?
you would win all goth awards. You would have like
Yeah,
accolades.
sure.
We'd have to give you some kind of endorsements that we didn't even
Hey,
know existed.
if an epileptic is gonna haunt another epileptic, like let it be, right?
Let it
Let it
fucking
be.
be. Maybe he'll bring Edgar Allan Poe with him too. You guys can really get the party started.
Oh shit, yeah, why not? Yeah.
Anyway, listeners, if you have any cool merch, anything to add, just anything meaningful to you that you have from any goth shit concerts, it can even be metal bands, I don't even care, whatever, drop it in the comments. And other than that, I think this is a wrap on this one. Reminder that we're going to be doing Thursdays, so it'll keep our episodes maybe a little more fresh and up to date. And I'm still just Jess. We got DJ Raev over in whichever, this way, yes, this way today. Stop by Canada sometime, and hopefully they don't become our 51st state, even though that would make it way easier for me to go to
Won't
Asylum.
happen.
It's not going to happen. I don't want it to happen, not because I don't want you guys, but so on the bottom we've got that goth about town, Mr. Raven, blackfall, so blackball your family, bro. I'm sorry.
McBurger.
McBurger the king. Oh, yes, that guy all about town at Taco Bell. And go ahead and tune in next week for our next episode of It's Not a Phase. And for reals, join us on Discord and have a great week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bird.